Inspector.
Greetings, Ludovico. I think I know who killed Halcyon Helen.
I've been waiting for this. Tell me, Inspector, who killed Halcyon Helen?
It was you.
I beg your pardon. You think I killed Halcyon Helen?
Well, it only makes sense. I've interviewed everyone else. You're the most likely culprit.
I knew hiring you was a mistake. I expect you to deliver the name of Helen's killer. I expect you to deliver results, Inspector. And if you can't withstand the pressure, then I expect you to resign. We're done. Your services are no longer necessary.
You sound pretty defensive, Ludovico. You don't have anything to hide.
I'm defensive, Inspector, because I'm under attack. I am assaulted by your perfidious and baseless accusations. You're convinced I murdered Halcyon Helen. Fine. Show me some evidence.
I don't need proof. My instincts haven't led me wrong before.
If you have no proof, then you have no case. And I have no further use for you. Wait, don't move a muscle. Someone's just tripped my alarm. And my security defenses. And killed my patrols. The distillery is under attack. Someone's after me, Inspector. I need you over here right now.
No, what you need is a less obvious trap. How dumb do you think I am?
I appreciate your skepticism, Inspector, but this is not a trap. There's a security breach at my distillery. Damn it, someone's interfering with my transmission. Can you read the...
So what do you think, fellas? Should we help him out, or...?
Whoever the real killer is. I got a feeling they're going after Mr. Ludovico. We need to catch up to him. Fast.
I guess, if we have to. Getting kind of tired of kicking my heels up in the penthouse all day.
Alright. I got nothing going on.
We should definitely go. As for helping him, maybe we take the wait-and-see approach?
From the depths of Terra 2 to the heights of Eridanos, there's no mess that your SAM unit can't unstick, unclog, or unsully.
Think of this as an opportunity to teach Mr. Ludovico the importance of compassion.
Alright. You've proven to be persuasive once again. But...
It's you. I had a feeling you'd catch up to me sooner or later, Inspector. I was just hoping you'd find me standing over the administrator's corpse.
What in law's name? Halcyon Helen, how are you still alive?
Oh, is that Ludovico I hear? Perfect. I'm so glad he's still in the building. Would you mind letting him know I'm about to blow his whole operation to flinders?
No, I think he has a point. You want to explain how you're still alive?
Brace yourself, Inspector. You're about to learn the biggest secret in the vaporwave industry. Halcyon Helen was never one person. I shared this role with my twin sister, Belinda.
A twin?
What?
The only thing worse than being an only child has gotta be having a perfect sibling. Can you imagine the parents?
Two people inhabiting the same life. Existentially challenging, philosophically speaking. My condolences. Must feel like you literally lost part of yourself.
Belinda and I were the best kept secret in the business. Nobody could tell us apart. And certainly not a peevish, petty, miserable little worm like Quentin Ludovico. So when I discovered the truth, when I realized what Ludovico was about to unleash on this colony, Belinda paid the price.
What are you talking about?
My plan to save Halcyon. I'm not a murderer, Inspector. I acted in defense. I had to defend Halcyon's future.
Tell the truth, Ludovico. There's nothing safe about Spectrum Brown. You want to infest this entire colony with those disgusting parasites.
They're not parasites. These creatures are symbiotic life forms. They belong to the highest order of life form, capable of living in perfect harmony with humanity. The symbiotes evoke a feeling of joy in their host, a bliss so pure, so profound as to render the most exquisite recreational substance obsolete. Oh, don't you see, Inspector? I want to bring joy back to Halcyon. I want this colony to smile again.
They're not symbiotes, Ludovico. I've seen the way the infected behave.
A host only turns violent if they're carrying too many symbiotes, or if they see you as a threat. In its natural state, the relationship between symbiote and host is perfectly harmless. Listen to me. I never wanted to take a life, but I had no choice. I couldn't let anyone destroy this colony's only chance at real happiness. But what about Helen? What about all the innocent people she's killed?
No one I crossed off was innocent.
You killed that Rangers mascot.
The mascot was a spy working for Ludovico. He was ordered to keep an eye on Belinda and I, and report back to his master.
You're being paranoid. I barely knew the fellow.
Don't try to deny it. Anywhere Belinda and I went, that mascot was there, just watching us with those cold, dead eyes.
Just how many people have you killed, Helen?
Ludovico murdered my sister, Inspector. He killed Belinda with his own hands. Dr. Leora Blossom, Maria Keene, that flackwit of a mascot, they were standing between me and Ludovico, so I did what I had to do. I went through them.
Why did you kill the constable? She was on your side.
She was on Ludovico's side. When she realized I was alive, she refused to stay silent. I gave Maria a chance. I told her about Belinda. I asked for her help, but she turned me down. She was honor-bound to report me to Ludovico. Maria had a duty to her company, and I had a duty to Belinda. We both did what we had to. But in the end, I was the faster shot.
Well, what about Dr. Blossom? Was that you in the research lab?
Have you met Dr. Blossom? She was practically a reptile. A cold-blooded psychopath who toyed with human lives in the name of scientific advancement. Leora Blossom wasn't a person. She was a weapon in Ludovico's arsenal. You call it murder? I call it disarming my enemy.
Alright, I've heard enough.
You know what you need to do. Help me avenge Belinda. Help me put a stop to this.
Don't listen to her. Listen to me. Throw in with Helen and you destroy Halcyon's only chance at real happiness. Think of the future, Inspector. A lifetime of bliss and joy for every colonist in Halcyon. We can make that happen.
Wait. Ellen, I still have more questions.
You want me to explain my grand plan in the middle of a climactic moment like some two-bit serial villain? Do I look like Spencer Woolrich to you? We've talked enough. You're either with me, or you're with the administrator.
I guess I'm with you, Helen. Let's get out of here.
Couldn't agree more. The last thing this colony needs is more grinning idiots.
We don't have a lot of time. We need to get out of here.
Not so fast. I've sealed the bulkhead doors. You're staying right where you are. I'm sorry to do this to you, Inspector. Truly I am. If it's any consolation, Helen has brought some remarkably powerful explosives. Your death should be instantaneous. Goodbye, Inspector. Helen, we won't meet again.
Damn it. He sealed us in, but I think I know another way out. Follow me and stay close.
Let's move.
Head through that door. There's another way out.
Ah! Steam. Why did it have to be steam?
How'd you do that so fast?
operations, but he's still at large. He's probably gone into hiding, so we're going to root him out.
Alright, so what's our plan?
This entire complex has been exposed to those parasites. Law only knows how many they've infected. Most of them won't even know they're carrying a parasite inside of them. If they're showing symptoms, it's probably already too late. Boundless energy, insufferable joy, an almost saccharine attitude of optimism. Then just like that, parasites bursting out of their bodies, fat and wriggling with vital energy.
Well, there must be some kind of pesticide. Benign to humans, lethal to parasites?
You're a step ahead of me, Inspector. An airborne pesticide of some kind. I think you may be onto something. Let's meet back at your penthouse. We'll ready our next move.
Alright. I'll meet you there.
Soon, Inspector.
See ya.
It's strange. When you walk through that door, I half expected to see Belinda. Belinda and I practically shared a life. Losing her feels like losing a limb. She's conspicuous by her absence.
Alright, do you need a minute?
Thank you, but no. I can't grieve properly while Ludovico's still breathing. So let's see if we can't solve that problem first. We shut down Ludovico's distillation plant, but he's not gonna sit idly by. If he can't use Spectrum Brown to infect the colony, he'll resort to some kind of backup plan. I stole this formula from Dr. Blossom, a failed prototype of Spectrum Brown. Look at this. The prototype had the opposite effect, and actually made you immune to the parasites.
Yeah, and also slightly depressed instead of incredibly happy.
This is Halcyon. Everyone's already miserable. A little more despair isn't gonna make a difference. We're going to need 2 ingredients. A sample of essence of sprat, and 1 intact pod of parasite eggs. Cedric's warehouse in the Piraeus spaceport almost certainly carries a batch of sprat essence. As for the pod, I'd check the Wilderness Reserve if I were you.
Oh, you mean sprat nucleons. Nucleons. Sprat nucleons. They're commonly used in medical experiments.
I'm glad one of us is an expert. Most of what I know is based on Dr. Blossom's notes. Here's what I understand. Sprats have an adaptive immune system. They don't suffer from the diseases and parasites they carry. It's one reason why you'll see them in every corner of the colony. Dr. Blossom experimented with sprats and accidentally discovered a way to become immune to the parasites. That's probably when she decided to switch to human testing.
Alright. So once I've got the ingredients, I should be able to synthesize an effective anti-parasitic.
You're a scientist and an inspector? You really are full of surprises. I borrowed a centrifuge from the research lab. Use the ingredients to synthesize an anti-parasitic.
Easy enough.
I'm glad I could count on your expertise. Once you're finished, head to the pilot house. We'll hijack the control system and disperse the cure into the atmosphere. That should kill off most of the parasites.
Not so fast. Let me borrow your needler.
Are you worried I'm gonna shoot you in the back?
Since I'm already doing all the work, I think I deserve to feel like an Aetherwave hero.
You're right. You do deserve the spotlight. Here. You take good care of my needler, and it'll take good care of you.
Thanks.
There is one other thing. While you're at Piraeus Spaceport, have a word with Cedric Kincannon. I know Cedric. There's nothing he wants more than a chance to eliminate Ludovico. We could use him on our side. Best of luck, Inspector. I'm counting on you.
I wanted to ask you about Belinda.
Why, Inspector? Am I being questioned?
No, we're just talking.
Fair enough. I do owe you at least a few honest answers. Belinda and I shared the role of Helen, but she was also the only person who knew the real me. To the rest of the colony, I'm Halcyon Helen, but to my sister, I was just Ruth. I could be myself around Belinda, and she could be herself around me. She was my only sister, but she was also my only friend.
So people know you're Ruth Bellamy. Was it hard for Belinda to keep herself secret?
No. Belinda enjoyed the secrecy. She could slip into the role of Halcyon Helen, attend social events on my behalf, perform a few stunts, deliver a few lines. And then, when she grew tired of all the people and all the attention, all she had to do was slip out of the role and be my sister again. She was the secret twin. She had a comfortable life in the shadows, an easier life. I made sure of that.
She seemed to be important to you. If I were you, I'd want revenge too.
What I want is my sister back, but I'll settle for killing Ludovico.
Fair enough. That's all I wanted to know.
I'm glad I could satisfy your curiosity.
So I want to hear the whole story. Tell me what happened.
It's a long story, Inspector.
Then you best get started.
It was supposed to be just another marketing job. Rizzo's wanted Halcyon Helen to be the face of Spectrum Brown. Some hideous concoction served with a dead parasite. All we had to do was spend a few weeks on Eridanos. Shake some hands, sign a few autographs, drink a bottle of Spectrum Brown in front of a camera, and try to smile. Belinda didn't want to go. But I wanted a change of scenery. In any case, we couldn't possibly say no.
Why didn't Belinda want to go?
Belinda always hated endorsement deals. They felt cheap to her, inauthentic. She always believed her first priority was to our fans, and not the company that bought us out.
What made her change her mind?
Nothing. She took the job when I did. Belinda was an idealist, and her ideals died with her. Belinda and I arrived on Eridanos and played our usual game of trading places. We were practically flawless. Even Ludovico didn't know about us. Belinda was unhappy for the first few days, but then she met Bertie Holcomb. Bertie treated her like a human being and not just an Aetherwave icon. They were just about perfect.
Yeah, except for the temper problem. I found the ruined picnic.
Bertie has a dreadful temper. I was worried about Belinda for a while, but she told me he'd never lay a finger on her, and I took her at her word. Bertie wasn't the person I should have kept an eye on. It was Ludovico. I had a feeling Ludovico was hiding something. Belinda stayed busy socializing with the celebrities around the complex. That gave me some time to do a little digging.
And so you made your way to the orchards, and left me my first clue.
The Purpleberry Orchards was the heart of Ludovico's operations. I knew I'd find some answers in the R&D lab. I saw everything. The test subjects, the parasites. Spectrum Brown was never safe to drink. Those harmless, dead parasites at the bottom of every bottle. They were just dormant. They would have sold out in a month. This colony loves novelty. They'll eat up any new product we toss their way. A new cereal, a new Spectrum flavor. Ludovico knows that. From Emerald Vale to Byzantium, a parasite in every brain and a grin on every face. Every last one of us trapped behind a mask of joy. That's what Ludovico wants.
And so he realized what you're up to, and thought you'd expose his plans.
I was careless. I was risking Belinda's life every step of the way, and I never even realized.
Well, you can't blame yourself.
I wish it were that easy. Still, thank you. Was there something else you wanted to talk about?
No. Goodbye.
Make them regret it.
Nice hit! Don't mess with us!
We're not getting through. Down they go.
I'm not gonna let no one break me down. I'll show you. I just want to be your friend.
Inspector, you made it. Well done. I'm afraid you may find the spaceport is, at the moment, less hospitable than usual. My apologies. Regardless, you must have some purpose here. Do tell.
Ludovico's been behind everything. Will you help me take him down?
Oh, my. You mean Lou was up to no good this whole time?
I thought it was just an asshole. Turns out he was an evil asshole.
To be so uncynical. But tell me, why should I help you, Inspector?
He wants to infect the entire colony with slugs. So I thought you might be interested.
When you put it like that, I would be heartless to say no. You can expect slug support. I'll arrange for my agents to meet you at the distillation station.
How'd you know I was headed there?
There are slugs in the Spectrum Brown bottles, Inspector. I am operating on the theory that this is, perhaps, not good. As thrilled as I am to assist you in taking down Lou, we have barricaded ourselves in here for a reason. I imagine you have a plan for getting out of the spaceport safely?
I'm going to disperse an anti-parasitic. It's almost ready.
Are you really? Inspector, you are a marvel. Excellent work. I'll admit, I'm awfully fond of my agents. To see them restored will be a great weight off my soul. Thank you.
Well, this anti-parasitic I mentioned, I'm going to need some Sprat essence for it.
Coincidentally enough, Slug can supply you with essence of Sprat. Ella Tinsley, the warehouse foreman, you remember her? There's a package on the desk in her office. You'll find the essence of Sprat you need in there.
Well, well, how incredibly fortunate.
Quite. It would seem luck is on your side, Inspector. Now then, is there anything else I can do for you while you're here?
No, that's all for now.
Want to guess
There
which
we go.
brand essence of Sprat comes from? Yeah, me neither.
Alright. The centrifuge was stolen from the Rizzo's RR&DD labs. Examine it. There's a small label stuck against the side of the device. Reading, Rizzo's laboratory centrifuge, no training required. All Rizzo's laboratory equipment has been designed for use by the unschooled worker. Insert ingredients, push buttons, and watch it spin. Rizzo's proprietary technology, so easy, a Spacer's Choice worker could use it. Huh. Alright, let me pull back the label. And there's another smaller label under that one, reading, Discontinued model Spacer's Choice proprietary technology. Excellent. Well, here goes nothing. The essence of Sprat smells vaguely like the Rest and Go on the Groundbreaker, or possibly the Cantina in Edgewater. It's difficult to place, but my eyes water all the same. The parasite eggs sink into concoction, sizzling. I activate the centrifuge. The device does its work without any additional input from me. A swirl of bright colors entertains my eyes, and a few moments later, I hear a bright chime. Okay. Did it work?
Greeting protocols suspended. All non-essential protocols suspended. Phaeton is standing by for larval compound dispersal.
What's your status?
Reactor stable. Compound dispersal may commence.
Alright, how about you disperse this instead?
Affirmative. Dispersing. Incoming message from Rizzo's distillation station.
What have you done? What in law's name have you done?
What do you think I've done?
Atmosphere. Are you trying to kill us all? No. You're trying to kill my symbiotes. I'm not going to let you destroy everything I've built. I can still fix this. I can undo the damage you've done.
End of transmission.
I'd like to see you try, pal. Hello?
I'm hit, Captain.
Nice, Captain! They're on us.
Feels good. I just want to be your friend.
Yes, I know you're hungry. Be patient. I'll feed you soon enough. Just a guest. The one I told you about. The inspector. Welcome. We were just talking about you.
Excuse me. Ludovico, I think there's someone behind you, or something.
You and I are standing in the presence of royalty. Don't worry, you'll meet her soon enough. I know what you've done. Hijacked Phaeton. Contaminated the air we breathe with your poison. You think you've saved this colony? All you've done is robbed Halcyon of its last chance at real happiness. And you've angered my queen.
Your queen? What exactly is going on here?
The queen of symbiotes. A creature of endless compassion and unfathomable intelligence. The next sovereign of Halcyon. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to feed you to the queen, and then I'm going to find a way to repair the damage you've done. Don't be afraid. She can smell fear, and it makes her absolutely ravenous. Your Highness, dinner is served. Wait, no, not me. Them! Merciful law, stop!
Oh, good. What? Who said that? The queen seems to be dead. I'm afraid.
That's the last of them.
That was a close one. Yeah, right there, Administrator. You look a little bit dead.
You made it. I guess happy customers really are repeat customers. Here, I had something I wanted to give you. This is a golden ticket, good for one free tour of the Purpleberry Orchards. This is my way of showing you that I appreciate you just for being alive.
Alright, just stand still. I'll put you out of your misery.
Here they come.
Alright.
I must have dreamed up 100 different ways to kill Ludovico. I'll be honest, eaten alive by the queen of the brain slugs wasn't on that list.
You sound disappointed.
Is that so strange? I imagined this moment would be a little more cathartic. But Belinda's still gone, and I don't feel all that different.
Yeah, well, you know what you need? A nice cold bottle of Spectrum Brown.
Hilarious, Captain. You must be very popular with your crew. I can't go back to the way things were. I can't return to my old life because it was never my life to begin with. It was shared. Never mind, you don't need to listen to this. Thank you again for your help, Captain. I never would have made it this far without you.
Of course. Helen, goodbye.
You've done us a great service here, Inspector. You have my gratitude. It all worked out in the end, wouldn't you say, Inspector?
Yes, I suppose it did.
We'll be awfully busy with the administrator gone. Lots to do.
Oh, I have no doubts. Alright. One last look at Eridanos before we head back into the Unreliable. I'm afraid the vacation is over, boys. It's time to move on. On to our next adventure. Whatever it may be.
Welcome back, Captain. Or shall I call you Inspector? What can I do for you?
I'm afraid I'm Inspector no longer. I've finished the Eridanos job.
During your absence, I passed the time by simulating a number of hypothetical conclusions to this case. Unfortunately, my understanding of the facts is limited, and my appraisal of the individuals involved is not flattering. Therefore, my conclusions are inaccurate.
Alright, Ada, humor me. Who do you think killed Halcyon Helen?
My simulations have yielded several possible causes of death. Halcyon Helen may have been killed by one or all of the following: asphyxiating on Rizzo's Spectrum Brown, grappling with a primal while inebriated, killed by an overzealous fan, death by automechanical, or profound loneliness. How close were my estimations?
How about I just tell you what happened?
Please, do so.
The real killer was Administrator Ludovico.
Administrator Ludovico killed Halcyon Helen? I have been programmed to simulate contempt and mild surprise. Mr. Ludovico had the audacity to hire you to solve a murder he committed? I am contemptuous and mildly surprised. This information is valuable to me. I will update my behavior simulation protocol accordingly. Thank you, Captain.
Of course. No problem.
How can I be of assistance?
I'll talk to you later, Ada.
See you soon, Captain.
See ya.
The Rizzo's company in Halcyon dissolved after the collapse of the board. Needless to say, the launch of Spectrum Brown was indefinitely delayed. A stockpile of Spectrum Brown remains buried deep beneath the ruins of the old distillery, abandoned to time and attrition. With the dissolution of the board, Ruth Bellamy found herself without the two constants in her life: Byzantine culture and her sister Belinda. In the face of this new reality, she struggled to find a direction for her life. The colony had moved on from Halcyon Helen and would require new heroes in the years to come. And so Ruth Bellamy decided it was time to exit stage left. She quietly disappeared from public view. The dissolution of the board did not mean the dissolution of the ambitions of Cedric Kincannon, the charismatic leader of Sublight Underground. Cedric offered slugs transportation services to the newly thawed colonists and set to work ferrying resources and food wherever they were most needed. For better or worse, slug headgear became fashionable in the following years. As the board began to disintegrate, Spencer Woolrich found himself at a crossroads. Cling to what little stardom remained to him, or help usher Halcyon into its new future. To the surprise of many, perhaps himself most of all, Spencer chose the latter option. Having learned a variety of different skills in the many different roles played throughout his lengthy career, Spencer founded a radio serial dedicated to staying alive despite the odds. His subjects included how to survive violent encounters with only grazing wounds, dispense pithy one-liners for tense scenarios, and, of course, how to look good doing both. After a brief attempt at dating Helen as one person rather than two, which both Bertie and Helen found too strange, Bertie struck out on his own to try his hand at raising woolly cows. Many of his former Rangers teammates soon followed, accompanied by the woolly cow the team had originally plied with alcohol. The dairy farm thrived under Bertie's leadership and care. The Dairy Rangers privately believed that the woolly cows softened Bertie's temper considerably, although the only one brave enough to say this to his face was promptly headbutted. Due to the board's dissolution, many of the Prophet's old customers no longer found quite the same value in productivity seminars that they once had. With her business drying up, the Prophet chose to take her followers down a new path. Months later, salvagers on Eridanos found clues leading them to a seemingly abandoned bunker out in the wilderness. Inside, they discovered horribly mangled corpses, sacrificed to a blood-scrawled portrait of a sprat-headed deity. The Prophet was not among the bodies.